Hello and welcome to this episode of Standing Apart, the podcast that explores why being different is a superpower, with me, Nigel. In this episode, I'm going to take an in-depth look at inbound marketing and how it's changing in the world of Gen AI. Plus, we'll have my regular features, my 1-minute rant, and superhero of the week. If you enjoy this episode, please subscribe, rate, and like it on your favorite podcast app. It really helps spread the word. Thank you. Direct marketing has undergone a significant transformation in the last 30 years, shifting from a predominantly outbound approach to one that increasingly embraces inbound methodologies. 3 decades ago, direct marketing was largely synonymous with interruption. Think junk mail flooding letterboxes, unsolicited telemarketing calls disrupting dinner, and blanket fax campaigns. These outbound tactics focused on pushing a message out to a broad audience, often with limited personalization and a reliance on sheer volume to generate responses. I should know, I worked in the direct marketing arm of a FTSE 100 insurance company in the 90s, and if we hit a response rate of 0.25%, it was literally champagne all round. The rise of the internet and digital technologies has fundamentally altered this landscape. Consumers gained unprecedented control over the information they consume, becoming adept at filtering out unwanted intrusions. This shift in power necessitated a change in marketing philosophy. Inbound direct marketing emerged as a more customer-centric approach, focusing on attracting prospects through valuable and relevant content. Today, direct marketing uses online channels like email marketing with permission-based lists and personalization, targeted social media advertising, and content marketing to draw customers in. Instead of cold calling, businesses create valuable blog posts, webinars, and ebooks that address customer pain points and position themselves as trusted advisors. This approach builds relationships over time, nurturing leads through the buyer's journey until they are ready to make a purchase. While traditional outbound methods haven't entirely disappeared, they now often play a supporting role within a broader, more integrated marketing strategy that prioritizes attracting and engaging willing customers. This evolution reflects a deeper understanding of consumer behavior and the power of providing value rather than simply demanding attention. Okay, so far so good, but in my experience, there is a big disconnect between those wanting instant results, usually the sales team and the CEO, and the inbound marketing approach, which requires time to mature and a bit of faith to stick with a strategy. That can be a very difficult internal sell, even though as a marketeer, you know it's the right thing to do. Let's paint a typical scenario. Consider a mid-sized UK e-commerce business, let's call it the Sustainable Living Store, a champion for eco-friendly home goods navigating a crowded online marketplace. They understand the challenge of standing out against the giants with vast advertising budgets. Their initial forays into paid ads yield high costs and limited long-term impact. So recognizing the need for a different approach, they embrace inbound marketing. Their strategy centers on becoming a trusted resource for their ideal customer. They craft insightful blog posts, guides to plastic-free kitchens, DIY green projects, content designed to genuinely help those interested in sustainable living. Simultaneously, they optimize their online presence so that when someone searches for eco-friendly solutions, the Sustainable Living Store appears. They also offer valuable free resources like an ebook of sustainable cleaning recipes in exchange for email sign-ups, building a community of interested individuals. On Instagram and Pinterest, they share visually engaging content, fostering connection and conversation around their values. The initial months demand perseverance. Website traffic from organic searches trickles in slowly. Their email list grows steadily but not explosively. Over the subsequent year and a half, yes, folks, that is the sort of time frame we're looking at, their consistent efforts begin to bear fruit. Their valuable content climbs the search engine rankings, drawing in increasingly qualified visitors, individuals actively seeking the very products they offer. Their email list expands with engaged prospects. The consistent sharing of helpful content on social media nurtures a loyal following, transforming casual browsers into advocates. Crucially, their patient approach to lead nurturing starts to pay dividends. Those who initially downloaded their free guides and engaged with their content begin to convert into paying customers. These customers, acquired through providing value and building trust, demonstrate greater loyalty and a higher likelihood of repeat purchases. After 2 years of unwavering commitment to their inbound strategy, the Sustainable Living Store experiences a significant and sustainable transformation. Their organic website traffic soars, their email list becomes a powerful sales engine, and their customer acquisition costs plummet compared to their earlier reliance on paid advertising. They do not just sell products, they build a community and establish themselves as a knowledgeable leader in the sustainable living space. This journey underscores a fundamental truth about inbound marketing. It's not a sprint, but a marathon. It requires patience, consistency, and a genuine focus on providing value to the audience, ultimately leading to more meaningful and lasting success. So we've tackled the first challenge, patience. Later in the show, I'll talk about some of the profound changes that 2025 is bringing to this model. You will know by now that I love to offload. There are all sorts of things that wind me up, and each episode I get to have a rant. But in the interest of my well-being, I limit myself to no more than 1 minute. So here is this week's 1-minute rant. It's Xero. That's Xero with an X, or rather Xero's first attempt at the use of generative AI. I'm sure you know, but just in case you don't, Xero is one of the most used accounting packages in the UK. As a born-in-the-cloud product and with a sales strategy that was focused on the accountancy firms that produce the end-of-year accounts, it has cornered the market. And of course, Xero needed an AI strategy, but its first foray, still officially designated as being in beta, is extremely underwhelming. Don't get me wrong, I like Xero. I'm a user and it handles the day-to-day very well, but it has taken a year to go from announcement of its JAX tool, which stands for Just Ask Xero, to me seeing it in the software. As well as being stamped with a beta badge, JAX has an important notice in the interface. JAX can make mistakes, check important information. If there is one group of software users that is going to respond really badly to that sort of disclaimer, it's finance people. It's extremely limited in what it can do and fell well below my expectations given where the top players in the market have already reached. The world of tech is too fast-moving for this. I was excited to see how JAX could make me more productive. My conclusion? It doesn't. Well, at least not right now. Stop the clock. Earlier, we talked about the move to inbound marketing since the internet took hold, and how patience, not something that is often in plentiful supply, is the key to success. But the orthodoxy of the last 15 years is being ripped up. Have you noticed how when you enter a search in Google, there is sometimes now an AI overview at the top, where highly tuned content used to appear? That high-ranking content was honed to within an inch of its life to do well when somebody searched. Not only that, but the paid searches, the sponsored searches, are also being pushed down the page. I did an experiment. I Googled, how do I choose a mattress? At the top was the AI overview. It provided me a great summary of factors I should consider. The interesting thing was the citations. it gave me 8, which seemed like a reasonable number to base an answer upon. What was interesting was that the top ranking article for this search was not cited as one of the sources. More interesting still, one of the 8 citations, when I searched for it, was on page 6 of the search results. Now, in marketing terms, that article was nigh on invisible. However, Google's AI thought it was one of the most useful 8 articles on the internet. So what's that telling us? It's telling us that optimizing content for AI agents is different from search engines. And marketeers are only just waking up to this fact. What we do know is that some of the criteria is the same. Your content needs to be fast and well indexed. That's a given. But AI search is inherently different. It's not looking for keywords, which is the bedrock of traditional search. It's all to do with semantics. What do I mean by that? It's about meaning and adjacency of words. That's how these large language models work. In essence, semantics is what powers Gen AI to move beyond being a sophisticated pattern matching machine to become a system that can truly understand the question and pull together the best answer from truly understanding the sources. So is this a big deal and something to act on right now? Let me put it in context. 2 years ago, 100% of Google's crawlers, these are the bots that hunt the internet looking for content, would have been search-based. In January 2025, crawlers to service AI agents represented nearly 30% of Google's total crawler activity. And that's only going to increase, particularly as users drop standard search engines and use ChatGPT, Gemini, and other virtual assistants to ask for help. The point of this podcast is to bring examples of people or businesses that are doing something different. I'm conscious that when it comes to this latest shift in the tectonic plates of marketing, I have provided no concrete examples. It wasn't for want of trying. I suspect companies are either in a state of ignorance, panic, or secrecy. Panic and secrecy are understandable. Ignorance is not. I still fervently believe in the power of inbound marketing. It just needs to be set in the context of an entirely new way that humans want to find information. Is this an opportunity to steal a march? Is optimizing content for AI search as opposed to conventional search a way to get results more quickly? I don't have the answer to that, but it'll be really fun to watch it unfold. And now it's time for my superhero of the week. Before each episode, I find someone or a business that is doing an amazing job of standing apart. This week, it's Alex Warren. Alex Warren's ascent to musical prominence is a story woven with threads of the extraordinary. While his current reality, chart-topping hits like Ordinary and sold-out UK arena tours, might paint a picture of a typical pop success story, his journey is anything but conventional. His initial foray into the limelight was as a founder of The Hype House, a collaborative TikTok group that became a phenomenon during the pandemic. This collective of young internet stars living and creating content together in Los Angeles garnered millions of teenage followers. This unconventional beginning sets Warren apart from artists who follow a more traditional path into the music industry. Aware of the skepticism that often greets social media influencers attempting to cross over into music, Warren has consciously chosen a different route. He emphasizes the authenticity and personal depth of his songwriting, contrasting it with what he perceives as the superficiality of other TikTokers' musical endeavors. No one else can sing my songs, he asserts, highlighting his commitment to writing from his own experiences. And those experiences are indeed extraordinary. Warren's lyrics delve into a challenging childhood marked by the early death of his father and his mother's subsequent struggle with alcoholism. The honesty and vulnerability he displays in his music, a willingness to lay bare deeply personal pain, is a striking departure from the often carefully curated personas of pop stars. Even his early steps into sharing his music were unconventional. Plagued by anxieties stemming from childhood bullying, he created a burner account to post his songs anonymously. In a particularly memorable instance, he filmed himself singing in a bathroom, a deliberate act of self-deprecation intended to deflect criticism. This unorthodox approach resulted in an unexpected viral success, amassing 10 million views overnight. Ultimately, Alex Warren's story is defined by his ability to transform adversity into art. He forges a powerful connection with his audience through his unflinching honesty and his willingness to share the most vulnerable aspects of his life. And so, Alex, you are my superhero of the week. So, once again, we're coming towards the end of the show. I hope you found it insightful. If you did, please tell your friends. Remember, all of the previous episodes are still available, including a fascinating two-parter with Hugh Taylor about building a great business, and a discussion with Tamara Phelan about maximizing the potential of existing customers. We're looking for sponsorship for the show. If you want to discuss cost-effective sponsorship options, again, please contact us at standingapartpod@hotmail.com. This show can only survive with people listening to it regularly, and no matter how good we make it, we have to beat those dratted algorithms. So every subscribe, rating, and like that you give it on your favorite podcast app really makes the world of difference. Go on, do it now. Thank you. Until next time, whatever you do, stand apart from the crowd. Standing Apart is a Sun Bear Consulting production.